Ah, Hello and happy Tuesday chai time. I'm Nina Crist, and I love sharing this Tuesday evening time with you um, to share about Tai Chi and enjoy just a nice beverage, whatever that is for you. If chai tea speaks to you, it's a really beautiful, beautiful, um, warming medicine. And I want to say I feel like the week has gone so quickly. I'm excited to be sharing that the Iron and Silk Masterclass on Saturday was amazing. Thank you for all of those of you that were able to join me. I oh, there we go. Um, and it was funny because as the morning unfolded with the participation and with the different kind of energetic community that was formed, that we all were connected and talking about the wisdom of the Taoists, connecting with Tai Chi and Kung Fu, I found myself just feeling overwhelming joy, just feeling so much joy, not only for the connection that I was experiencing with those of you that were with me, but just that here now, today, in the 21st century, we are keeping this ancient wisdom alive. Each one of us that connects with these practices, with the philosophy of Tai Chi, with the culture, with the deep roots in this indigenous wisdom of connecting with the earth, with the sky. We connect with each of the four directions, and we become the center. We become the center of this compass. And as we were talking about this and moving together to open the rivers within, to clear out stagnation, to clear out any sluggishness that you may be feeling, or even wanting to soothe some excess fire, and I feel that so palpable, and many of you um, that were with me or that have connected with me in the work that I'm sharing with have expressed this sensation when there's an imbalance in the physical body, when there isn't the balance of the yin and yang energies, of the masculine and feminine energies of heaven and earth, and just finding that alignment within yourself. So you're like, okay, here I am. I've got this. When that comes out of balance, I've been talking, and for years, thousands of people connecting, whether as a student, whether as whether as a participant, or being in the seat of teaching and sharing. I hear over and over again how this is felt in the body. Closing tightness in the heart, a shutting down, coming inward. And I look to the practices of Tai Chi and Kung Fu and how they so beautifully mimic nature and allow us each, when connecting with the movements, to reconnect with the elements of nature, to open or unlock, to access a part of ourselves that hasn't been able to be expressed, connecting with the crane or the eagle, feeling the expansiveness in the wings, and just taking an inhale. Feel free to do it with me. It feels so good. I always let's demonstrate. Taking a deep breath in and feeling as if your wings are moving back in space, and then banking to one direction, banking to the other. And this doesn't even, if you want to feel the animal or not, it just feels good. And I feel as I do this, it's like my shoulder blades come together. I want to roll them back and down and feel that expansiveness. Yeah. And then bend your elbows, feel it. And then bring it back out, turn the palms, and I'm going to do it so you can see my hands are facing down. And I'm just going to soften the elbows and let my hands rest. And then feel that energy pass through, and then let yourself exhale the arms back down by your side or on your lap, and just feel that shift. Not only is the medicine of the animal coming through and their way of being, just the presence, the symbolism of connecting with them. Not only is that medicine powerful, but anatomically, what's happening when we move into these Kung Fu or Tai Chi expressions of the body, we begin to open the meridians, these energy channels in the body. And if I have my palms facing up, feel that. Feel your thumbs up. Let's thumbs up, and then dial the thumbs forward. Feel the difference in each expression. Try turning the thumbs down. And now try, I'm just doing this so you can see where my hand is. Try dialing the thumb all the way. And feel the different energetic response and expression of each different orientation of the arms. That's what the Kung Fu is all about. And as you're as you're opening, I love that, Bridget. As you're opening and feeling the animal awaken within you, notice also your shoulder blades. You have these two blades that when you open the heart, it's like these blades come together, and it's like this awesome way to sever any ties that are holding you back. And I think of like a hot air balloon being tethered down, right? And it's like, let's cut that energetic holding. And if it's a holding that's holding you back, and you just feel almost like paralyzed, whether it's in a moment or in a phase of life that you're ready to shift out of, or if it's a holding that way, or if it's like a holding where you're feeling even in that moment, or even bigger, where it's like, if I could just let go of that anchor, if I could just let go of that relationship or that old way of showing up for myself, if I could just let go of these patterns, whether it's eating habits, sleeping patterns, on and on, right? You get the point. Whatever it is, whatever that pattern is that maybe was working for you at one point, but you feel now is like, no, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to show up differently for myself. I want to change the energy I'm infusing my physical body with. And how do you do that? How do you change the energy that you're fueling yourself with? Well, think of how you're intaking energy. If the intake of energy is coming through the senses, then I need to shift my environment. I need to shift who I'm surrounding myself with, what food I'm putting in my body, so on and so forth. And as I come into this opening, I'm like, let's do it again. I want to open the heart and release that tie that's holding me back. And then as I let the hands settle, it's taking a moment to really feel the energetic shift that occurred just by that simple movement, just by opening your heart, just by bringing your hands back in space. And the mimicry of nature isn't a coincidence. It's not like, oh, it's cute, or it is just by happenstance. No, and I see behind me, I've got the serpents from the Shipibo tribe, the deep medicine that the shamans offer, us. And it's like, and I talk about patterns, but it's like, look at this weaving, look at these weavings. And they take all that time, and they take all that time to slowly weave and add the serpent. And we look at the Kung Fu, and we look to Tai Chi, and it's not just the animals that are emulated. It's the elements in nature. In Tai Chi, I think of the weeping willow shivers in the morning breeze. Is like, hey, in the morning, open your joints, right? That's what weeping willow shivering in the morning breeze is all about, lubricating the joints. And if I'm lubricating the joints and I'm moving out stale energy from before, guess what else is going to be lubricated? My mind, my attitude. I will not come across as much friction if I have moved the stagnation out of my body. If I've lubricated my joints, then not only do I feel that in the physical body, like my energy is more fluid, but because everything's connected, as soon as I open the joints and I lubricate, now my body can be a better conductor of the electricity that's flowing through me. I can be more efficient. I love being productive. I can be more efficient. I can be more productive with my time. And it lends itself to clearer mind, because the energy channels, the meridians, are the same channels that the thoughts flow on, the emotions flow through, the energy in the body, your chi, that life force flows through. And if there's blockages, of course it's going to be difficult to think and to problem solve and to kind of make quick strategic calls, right? But if we can open the joints and be like the weeping willow and be like the crane, and the tiger, yeah, and the serpent and the dragon, right? And we start to emulate nature and return to nature. These are our roots. And so as I share Tai Chi, whether it's Thursday nights, I'm doing live 3 more Thursday nights for Tai Chi for Health. And the previous 3 classes are already recorded. So if that's something you want to connect with me on, the community is amazing. We have so much fun. Thank you guys are so fun. I just, that the presence that we all bring is most like the best part. And then yes, we're all keeping the ancient practice of Tai Chi alive through that. I just did the master class this past Saturday, so that's still available as a recording. You can catch it on our YouTube channel. I shared for 3 hours on Saturday. And on Saturday, I did mention for some of you that are reaching out and asking how you may want to like connect more deeply with the practice, if you've already connected with Tai Chi or Qigong in your past, or you already are working on personal healing or sharing healing with others, or just wanting to show up and like kind of like, it's like, I want an upgrade. I want more energy in my life. I want more vitality. I want to feel good. Because guess what, guys? Like life is so much better when you feel good in your body. It just is. It just is. Everything becomes more easy. Everything becomes more fluid. So if you are interested in going deeper, this is actually a really exciting moment for me. The 9-month training in shamanism comes up November 20th and 21st. It runs for 9 weekends, 1 weekend per month, beginning in November. And this year I'm going to be sharing a deep practice of energy enhancement and cultivation for people that are wanting to learn more about healing. You'll get the certification, and it's a certification program, and you can get your master's degree through Ubiquity University, which is super cool, like deep bow to humanity for saying, let's change the way we're showing up for each other and for ourselves. Let's bring this indigenous wisdom back and provide this nourishment in the soil of our brothers and sisters. Let's give these seeds, our children, the seeds of our future. Let's give them fertile ground. And so we are so excited to have the Jaguar Path curriculum in Ubiquity this year. And so I'll be teaching Tai Chi in the mornings, so Saturday and Sunday mornings. And I'll just say that we go as deep as the group is ready to go. And I have a lot to share. And it's really inspiring to connect with people that are showing up. Yeah, awesome, Kimberly. It's awesome to connect with people that are showing up to say, hey, I want to do my part to support the evolution of humanity. We are all connected. We are all links in this lineage of humanity. And to me, I want to do my part. I want to show up. I want to be the best version of me. And that's why at 17, I started practicing Tai Chi, Qigong, Kung Fu. I started sharing this ancient wisdom, shared it in a very traditional way. I have a very traditional foundation of practice, of experience. And I want to make it accessible. There's no need for anyone to go live in a shed in Maine without power, without electricity, without heat. I've done it. I'm like, I did it for us, guys. I will get you the wisdom. I will share it from my heart. I will share it with enthusiasm and joy. We can even laugh about it. And yes, there is time to step back and come into the sacred space and dive inward and hold space for that deep work that I know many are yearning for. But if you're interested in diving deep with Ray and I, this is a very powerful training. I love it because you're just going to feel better. And I'm excited that Tai Chi will be supporting the people that are healers that are stepping forward. The shift in having a life with Tai Chi and having a life without Tai Chi, to me, the contrast is so intense. I can't imagine my life without Tai Chi. I'll just say that. Every morning, I feel compelled to share this because whenever I get a new student or I'm working one-on-one with a personal energy coaching client. I don't even like that word. Friend, sisters, brothers, love, like I love you guys. Thank you. Whenever I connect, it's like, well, what do you do? What's your practice? I'm like, well, it's ever changing. And that's why there's so many different practices for us to connect with. I have not got bored yet, but I will say this. In the mornings, I've been on a kick for the last, 6 months. I start my morning with Ambianga, a coconut oil massage. I do facial cupping. I do facial gua sha, and I go into about 45 minutes of Qigong, whether that is one of the different sequences. But recently I've been really deeply connecting with the 8 treasures. And I am so grateful for Master Ni for sharing this wisdom with all of us. And then I sit in meditation and I do an I Ching reading or an I Ching reading. And this is more space than I've ever carved out for myself in my morning practice. And it has been the biggest gift that I give myself, because my day starts with me showing up for myself. I show up for myself in pure presence. Nothing interrupts it. I give myself self-care, self-love. I look at myself in the mirror with affection and kindness. I stand between heaven and earth. I align myself between these two polarities, these two complementary energies. I align my mind, body, and spirit. And then I allow myself time to sit and not hastily transition to the email or to the next thing. I allow myself to sit and integrate whatever was shared with me in the practice. And what I mean by shared with me is a hummingbird may fly by. I may see a condor overhead. I live in Costa Rica. I'm like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, I know it's magical. It's crazy awesome. I'm like tempted to show you right now. It's not super stunning at this moment, but we've got the sunset just about to happen. And right out that window is like a whole other world and reality. And so as I'm going through my practices, a lot of times I'll have visitors or I'll have insights. I'll have if I'm thinking about problem solving of some sort, I feel a spaciousness. And it's almost like if there was a knot, everything gets loosened and released. And then all of a sudden things become more easeful. All of a sudden, I don't feel that friction that I may have felt by an unknown. I feel a sense of ease. And in the Taoist text, they talk about that in the modern world, the way that we have kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of been programmed, the patterns that we have in our language, in our society, in our systems, our structures, lends itself to linear thinking. And then if you look at what a lot of people are doing for their exercise and to be healthy, is to go into a gym and do very linear movements. And the Taoists actually speak to that and say, if you practice linear movements, you'll have linear mind. And if you think of lines are forever. They're going to keep moving on that trajectory. There's not much wavering. There's not much flow. There's not a lot of flexibility. There's not the ability to yield so much. And so by bringing in Tai Chi and Qigong and Kung Fu and these ancient wisdom practices, this shamanic way of moving with the elements to support you, with that support, you begin to think in a more circular way. And all of a sudden, as you're moving in these circles, they become dimensional. 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional, whatever dimension you operate on. And as you're moving through life, it's like, whoa, why did that person say that? I don't think that's not for me. Like, I don't need that. And even being able to absorb and then reflect, and all of these different movements that we see in the martial arts, all of a sudden, this is how my mind is able to move and flow. Huge transformation takes place when the body's programming, and that's why Tai Chi can be difficult. I had such a difficult time learning it, and I was a competitive gymnast. I was a competitive diver. any sport you can think of. I loved it. I did it. And then I came into martial arts, and I was being asked to move the right upper body at the same time as the bottom lower side, like the lower leg with the upper. And I was just like, wait, what? Right, left, top, bottom, front, back? I don't know. And I had to rewire my body to my mind. I had to rewire and rebridge and repattern my way of being to be able to move like the ancient sages did. And it took a lot of practice. It did feel, I came up against friction and resistance, and ultimately that was the practice allowing me to let go and release those old ways of being. But first they had to get surfaced, and I had to feel them. And once I released them, it's like accessing a whole nother battery. It's like this backup battery. It's like, why didn't anyone tell me about this? So if this speaks to you, if you're wanting to connect more with the actual practice of Tai Chi, reach out to us at evolve@jaguarpath.com or visit jaguarpath.com. We are here to connect you with this ancient wisdom, whether it's through healing programs, whether it's through a one-on-one healing session or a deeper personal connection where I'm more of a consulting and energetically guiding you and customizing practices for you. Whatever you're feeling called to, I have to say, Ray and I are just overwhelmed with gratitude, appreciation, feeling the humbleness of being in this seat as a bridge, as a conduit to share this ancient wisdom that was so gracefully and beautifully shared with each of us on our own personal journeys. And I say this because for 20 years, I practiced silently in the woods. I didn't share in this way. And in the last couple of years, especially, I have really, truly felt called to step forward and share what I have to offer. I have this practice that is in every cell of my body. It has transformed my reality. It has given me many, many gifts. And Ray offers the same. We share that spirit of like, here, let us offer. Please allow us to contribute. And for those of you that are wanting that, we're here. And for those of you that want to just connect on Tuesday nights and feel into the presence of Tai Chi, the ever presence of Tai Chi, because throughout time, it has always been with us, and it is part of our DNA. It is part of our innate way of being. And each one of us has Tai Chi within us. And I remember my grandmother, my mother's mother, she transitioned a few years back. Time is always so abstract. But I remember as she was beginning her transition, she asked me to share with her Tai Chi. And at first she was able to sit up on her bed and put her feet on the floor. And we would simply just inhale the hands up and exhale the hands down. We'd inhale the hands back and exhale the hands forward. And I would do wave hands like clouds with her, just sitting, relaxing. And it was so beautiful because when she got to the point where she wasn't able to sit up, I would come in and I would sit next to her and put my hand on her shoulder and just be with her. And every once in a while, she'd be laying down and she would just inhale, her hands would float up and exhale, and she would let out a good, ah. And then once her hands landed on the bed, I'd feel this deep stillness and like contentment, deep peace. And there was such a gift in being able to share that with her at that time. And I share this now, not about as much about the personal for myself, but to say, listen, this can touch us wherever we're at. You don't need to be able to stand on one foot and crouch down into a really intense balance posture that takes a lot of strength and flexibility. Like, no. It is about the simple practice of moving the body with breath, harmonizing the yin and yang energies that reside within all of us, and returning to your true nature. So thank you for joining me for another Chai Time on Tuesdays. Please, thank you, Amanda, for sharing this. Always reach out. We're here. We love you guys. And I'm excited to continue to share more in my chai time on Tuesday nights. Thank you for joining me. Mwah. I'll see you next week. Bye. Have a beautiful night.